Welcome to Life It with DVD. Welcome back. Thanks for being here. Today, I wanted to talk a bit more about the consequences of letting our thoughts get into these thought loops of intrusive thoughts, things we can't control, and the consequences of that, as well as how it happens. So, first of all, how do we get into a thought loop where we just can't control what is going on inside, right? So, oftentimes, this is a conditioning pattern. This is something that we have learned over time, that we have allowed our body and our mind to just go and replicate these behaviors. Um, and it's something that we have control over, right? This is something that if we want to take control of our life and live the best life that we can, we need to realize what's going on up here. And becoming aware of it is one thing, but the unconscious conditioning that we allow ourselves to have, and I harp on this, I have been harping on this repeatedly, this comes through social media. This comes through what we're doing with our mind when we want to turn it off. Um, where are we focusing on? What are the things we are focusing on? And if you're having intrusive thoughts that are popping up, um, you know, how are you breaking them? Are you just allowing them to go, or are you changing your environment, bringing your awareness back to the present, taking a deep breath? Usually that helps as well, but getting back more into the body instead of allowing the mind to just run amok. So when we have these intrusive thought patterns, sometimes it's from overthinking as well. It's from allowing our behavior to um, just drift too much. Sometimes it's from boredom. Sometimes it's from not having enough things to do, not having enough responsibilities or things that we need to take care of. So, in looking at the consequences of this, right? First of all, we need to look at where they're coming from. And a lot of times where I find for me the issue is I am allowing myself too many ideas. It's too much social media. It's not enough focused time on the things that I actually want. And sometimes it's overthinking, right? It's overthinking on the ideas of how I'm going to get these things done, and then worrying about it. Other times it's simply because I haven't made a choice. I am indecisive. I haven't made a decision on what I'm going to do in that moment, what I'm going to focus on, and because I haven't directed my focus towards something, and I say, "Oh, my mind needs a break." And I'll look at X or Instagram or whatever, your choice of social media or news or television news. If you don't direct your focus towards something and like you just want to let your mind turn off, well, you're going to absorb all of those things that are coming in, and especially if it's fast, things that are like on a Facebook feed or on an X, algorithmic feed where the ideas are jumping all over the place. What do you think that conditions your mind to do? Your mind is going to jump all over the place with all the tasks that you have, all of the things that you have to do, all of your fears, all of your anxieties, all of your worries about what other people might be thinking, what your dog is thinking, what your child is thinking, what the past you was thinking. It gets all over the place, right? And this can just burn you out, right? This can burn you out to a place where you want to just shut your mind off. And this is conditioning the mind in a terrible way. A terrible way, right? If we can't just sit still, right? turning our mind off used to be just being still, being present with our thoughts, uh, just being present of our environment, being present of what's around us, the food that we're eating, the people that we're with, the task at hand. But our society has made it so that attention is an incredibly valuable commodity, and we need to take that back if we want to be able to do the things that we want and accomplish them, get them done. So, to that end, as I've been saying, we need to take back our consciousness. We need to focus on the tasks at hand. We need to try to stay off of the social media. And in each and every moment, if we find that, oh, I want to check my phone, I need something, like there's this underlying anxiety of like, oh, I need to play a game on my phone, or play a video game, or read something new, or like I feel it because like I do this sometimes, and we, instead of indulging in these things, uh, we need to slow down. We need to do nothing. We need to take a breath, and just stand and say, hey, we're here right now. What is it that we want to do? You know, not to just allow the autopilot to run or whatever. What task do we want to focus on? Um, is there something we want to get done? Oh, there's not. This is time to relax. Well, maybe we'll read a book. I mean, and I'm not saying you can't do these things, but if you're like, when I say video games, I love video games. I think they're great for learning, actually getting experiences with things that might find would push us or challenge us in some way. And I'm not talking about the ones where you shut it off and you just push buttons, but ones that actually make you think and stimulate your mind and not just let it rot. But to that end, we need to pick something and focus on it, not allow ourselves to think about other things when we're doing these, other things. So multitasking, everybody thinks that multitasking is a thing. No, it's task switching. All you're doing is switching between tasks, and you're never able to properly focus on the thing, one task at a time, and you're not doing it to the best of your ability. Now, some task that might be okay with, right? Like such as driving and something else, but you know even the act of driving, and if you're trying to talk on the phone at the same time, what do people do when the radio is on and they're trying to talk on the phone and they're driving? Well, sometimes my natural response is I turn down the radio. Like I can't take in all of the other stimulus. You have to do things to the best of your ability, and especially the ones that require a lot of executive function from your brain. You need to focus. So conditioning and practicing our mind to focus on a task at hand, instead of focusing on a task and then saying, oh yeah, I'll just look at my feed or whatever. No, that's conditioning the brain to do things that you don't want it to do. That's conditioning it for overthinking. It's conditioning it for anxiety and worry, and all of the what ifs that you can't control, that aren't in your world, right? That aren't right in your space. And I mean, I've mentioned this before too. We have really no idea what's actually happening in the external world. With AI now, that stuff is indistinguishable from reality at this point. So if you think you know exactly what's going on, I'd ask you to humble yourself and realize that you don't. I don't. There's times I think I know what's going on, but I really don't. So, I mean, I have an educated guess. I have a probability. Usually I filter these things in probabilities. But ultimately, the only thing you can trust is what is in front of you right now at the present moment and where you're at right here. So, the choice is yours. The choice is yours. Um, and the other thing that helps to break some of these patterns, these overthinking patterns and habits, is writing them down. If you have a journal, excellent. That's a great way to externalize the things that are going on in your head, and it allows you to see maybe a pattern or a story that you're creating, or a way, a way you feel about something, the way you think something is happening, that once you just get it down on paper, or onto your laptop or whatever, you might be able to break this pattern, and you might just feel better. That's one of the great things about it, is once you get it out of your head, you might realize that it's not as big of a deal as you think it is. um, so once again, the consequences of allowing your mind to run rampant and overthinking, and allowing your thoughts to just go crazy, and then wanting to turn it off through social media. um, this can really destroy your focus and can destroy your life. It can allow for unfulfilled dreams and the things that you have wanted to do that you have never gotten to. Right? Uh, I've been there. I'm there right now. Right? There's things that I've wanted to do for a while, but ultimately I haven't been decisive enough. I haven't picked. I haven't committed. And even after I have committed some things, I've gotten distracted. I've walked it back. Um, so ultimately, you need to get in touch with yourself. You need to focus on the things that what you really want. What feels natural to you? What feels right to you? What feels like it's not a path you need to walk at all, but the path disappears. You no longer are searching for the things that you want. They're just You're just going, you're just doing, and it feels natural. Write that stuff down. Write down the things that make you feel like you, that feel good. Even if it scares you a little bit, right? We might be conditioned to fear certain things that we're natural at. Um, Write these things down, and it might be surprising what you find. So, once again, I hope this might help some people. Um, my mind does jump around with some of these these ideas and some of the things I talk about, but ultimately, it's all trying to work towards building a better future for yourself and becoming aware of the pitfalls and the things that might be leading you astray. So please like and subscribe if you enjoy this. That would mean a tremendous amount to me. Let me know what might help you to break the pattern when you have all these anxieties and fears. What habits are you trying to cultivate that break these things? So let me know in the comments below. Be great to hear from you. And otherwise, thanks for being here and making it this far. And I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.